What was the best "you have no power here" moment you've ever seen? I was grabbing coffee at this tiny airport cafe when a businessman in a $3,000 suit started berating the teenage barista. The kid couldn't have been older than 17, working the 5 a.m. shift during spring break. The man slammed his platinum credit card on the counter, demanding they remake his latte for the third time because the foam art wasn't perfect. "Do you have any idea who I am?" he yelled loud enough for the entire terminal to hear. "I'm a diamond member with this airline. I fly 200,000 miles a year. One call from me and you'll never work in this airport again." The barista, whose name tag read Tyler, just kept wiping down the espresso machine, completely unbothered. This seemed to enrage the man even more. He pulled out his phone and started recording. "I'm documenting this pathetic service for corporate. What's your employee number?" Tyler finally looked up with the calmest expression I'd ever seen on a teenager's face. "Sir, I don't work for the airport. I don't work for the airline. I don't even work for this coffee shop." The businessman's face twisted in confusion. "What are you talking about? You're standing behind the counter making coffee." "I'm the owner's son," Tyler explained, still perfectly composed. "This is my family's business. We've owned this location for 12 years. My dad started it when he immigrated here from Guatemala." The man's bravado flickered, but didn't die. "Well then, I'll make sure no one from our airline ever buys coffee here again. We spend millions in this terminal." That's when an older man in a pilot's uniform stepped forward from the back of the line. I'd noticed him earlier, quietly observing everything unfold. "Actually, you won't be doing that," the pilot said. The businessman spun around. "And who are you supposed to be?" "Captain Jacobs. I've been flying for this airline for 23 years. I trained Tyler's father for his citizenship test in this very cafe. Bought coffee here every morning I fly." He looked around at the growing crowd. "How many of you are crew?" Hands went up everywhere. Flight attendants, pilots, gate agents. At least 15 airline employees were waiting for their morning coffee. The captain continued. "This cafe has a special contract with our airline. They provide coffee for our crew lounges at cost because the owner's brother died serving in Afghanistan. We consider them family." The businessman's phone was still recording, capturing his own humiliation. His face went from red to pale as the captain added, "I believe you mentioned you're a diamond member. I'll be sure to note this interaction in your file. Harassment of our partner vendors is grounds for status review." That's not necessary," the man stammered, suddenly deflated. Tyler, who'd been silent during this exchange, finally spoke up. "Your latte's ready, sir. On the house. My dad always says kill them with kindness." But the killing blow came from the most unexpected source. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, tugged on her mom's sleeve and said in that piercing child's voice that carries everywhere, "Mommy, why is that man being so mean? Doesn't he know please and thank you?" The entire cafe erupted in barely suppressed laughter. The businessman grabbed his free latte and practically ran to his gate, leaving his platinum card behind on the counter. Tyler called after him about the card, but he never came back. Captain Jacobs stepped up to order, giving Tyler a nod of approval. "The usual, son, and tell your dad Roberto says hi." As I boarded my flight later, I saw the businessman sitting in first class, hunched over his laptop, his face still flushed. Word travels fast in airports. His power play had backfired spectacularly, and everyone knew it.